Hello friends, this is Mohit and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel and to my another very important video on SQL playlist. And today we are going to discuss visual explanation of joins in SQL using a Venn diagram. And these diagrams are really very important in order to understand the join concept. So let us start our discussion. So first we'll discuss the cross join. So let us consider we have two tables. Here you can see the first circle is table A, second circle is table B. So let us consider we have two tables. Both the tables have two rows. So cross join means we are going to map each row of first table, that is table A, with all the rows of second table. That means if you consider this row as the first row of table A, then the row 1 will be mapped to row 1 and row 2 of table B. Similarly, row 2 of table A will be mapped to row 1 and row 2 of table B. So in this way, it will output the result. So I assume you can guess the number of records in cross join. It will be simply like Cartesian product of number of rows available in both the table. 2 cross 2. That is 4 rows will come here in this case. Okay. So how the output will look like? Let us understand this using an example. So I have already created two tables with dummy data for a better understanding. So first table is student, second table is department. Let me select it. So if you see, this student table has 3 rows, this department table has 5 rows. So if we apply cross join, then what we discussed, this first row will be mapped to all the row of this second table. Similarly, the second row will be mapped to all the row of this second table. Similarly, the third row will be mapped to all the row of this second table. Okay, so the total count will be 3 cross 5, that is 15. So let us write the query. How the syntax will look like. Select start from student as, let us give the alias name as S. Then since we are using cross join, so we will use cross join. Another table name is department, alias name is D. So this is the syntax. Okay. Select star from first table, that is table A. So according to our Venn diagram, this is table A. So for better understanding, let me put this as, so here we are getting table A and table B. So let me give in the similar way. Okay. Table A, table B. Okay. So this is the syntax for cross join. Select star from table A, cross join, table B, and it will output Cartesian product of both the tables. So let me run this query. See, so the expectation is it will give 15 records as an output. So if you see here, we are getting 15 records. ID1 of first table getting mapped to all the IDs of second table. Similarly, ID2 of first table, that is the second row of first table, getting mapped to all the row of second table. Similarly, the ID3, which is the third row of first table, getting mapped to all the row of second table. So we are getting total 3 cross 5, that is 15 rows. Okay, so that's what we have explained here. Each row will be mapped to every row of another table. Okay, so this is all about cross join. So let us move to the next one, which is inner join. So this inner join, using Venn diagrams, you see this first circle is table A and second circle is table B. So here you can consider this table A as student table, what we have in this query. This one, this is table A and this is table B. Okay, so what is inner join? So if you want to understand this using Venn diagram, so here we are getting some intersection. So intersection means the matching record. And what do we mean by matching records? Let us understand that one. Okay. So if you want to use inner join, then we'll write inner join department as table B. Then we need to write on condition. Okay. So on condition, the table A. So first let me select these two tables. So table A has department ID and table B has ID. So this ID is basically foreign key to this table, correct? So if you see, these two are like foreign key. So we can look up these value in order to get the respective details. So let's say if you want department name corresponding to ID1, then we need to look up this department ID1 from student table to this ID1 of department table. And From that, we can access the value of department name. Okay. So these things we have already discussed in our previous video, the theory behind the joins, how it works. So if you have not watched that video, I strongly recommend to watch that video first. Okay. I'll put the link in description and you can also get the link in I button. Okay, so here we are performing inner join on this condition. That is, we are mapping this department ID with this ID. So in this Venn diagram, when we say the matching record, that means the matching record value of this column and this column. So what are the matching record? 1 and 2. These are the matching record because this 1 and 2 is present in both the table. You can't find 6 in this department table and you can't find 3, 4 and 5 in this student table. Okay, so only these two are the matching record. Got it? So when we say the matching record, the highlighted part, the common part in this Venn diagram, this refers to these two records only. Okay, so here is the query, what we have written. And in my previous video, I have already explained with the help of example that the inner join and the joins, these two are same, exactly same. Similarly, we have also discussed about left outer join and left join, right outer join and right join, full outer join and full join. So these are like the equivalent syntax and they will output the same result. And we have also seen these cases by taking the help of examples. Correct? So if you have not watched that video, then I would highly recommend to watch that video for better understanding. So here we can see there are two queries. The only difference is in first query we have used this inner join and in second query we have used only joins. So let us run this query from our end. So let me first run this query using inner join. So this should output these two records. Okay. And this is the matching record which I was talking about in Venn diagram. This is the highlighted part. Okay. So for this highlighted part, the ID 1 and 2 will come into picture. Okay. Similarly, if I remove this join, according to our last discussion in my previous video, this should also output the same result. See, we are getting the same result. Okay. Now let's move to the next join, that is left outer join. So from this Venn diagram, what we are seeing that the left outer join will output the matching record, which is the common here, what you are seeing, plus the non-matching record from the left table. Okay, this is the left table, correct? So this is the non-matching record. The part which you are observing here, this is the non-matching record. Okay, and this is the common part, which is the matching record, which we understood in the inner join as well. So from this Venn diagram, what we understood that this will output the matching record plus non-matching record of the left table, which is this part. Okay, this one. So let us understand this using an example. So first is the student table, second is the department table, and we are using student as a left table and department as a right table, correct? So here let me write left join. So here this will behave as a left table and this will behave as a right table. So what we have discussed, according to the Venn diagram, it should output the matching. This is the common part, correct? This is the common part plus non-matching, which is present here outside this part where it is written table A. Okay. So this is the non-matching record of left table. Okay. So this is the left table and this is the right table. So it will output the matching records from this both table. So matching record are 1 and 2 because these are presenting both the tables. We have already discussed this part and this was the output in case of inner join. And what are the non-matching record of left table? Here the left table is student table and this is the non-matching record corresponding to department ID 6 and student ID 3. This is the non-matching record. So this section of this circle, this will correspond to this third row, what we are seeing here. And this intersection part, this common part will correspond to this ID 1 and 2, which we have also seen in the case of inner join. Okay. So left outer join, that means the matching plus non-matching of left table. That means each and every record of the left table will come in output. Okay. Now let us discuss these two queries. So here if you see, in one place we have used left outer join and here we have used left join. So again, it should output the same record. And these things we have already discussed in our last video. So first let me run this query for left join. It should provide us 3 rows, correct? So these two correspond to the matching records from the Venn diagram, this matching common part. And this third row, since we are joining on these two column, right? And here 6 is not present in department table, correct? Because it will check the value 6 and it will not get any value in this ID column of department table. So it will become a non-matching record and this is present in left table. Okay. So it will behave as non-matching records from the left table. And this is what we are getting in the another section of this table. This major section, this represents the non-matching record. That is the third row, what we are getting here. Okay. Now let me put outer. So this should also return the same result because this is equivalent. These two queries are equivalent. See, we are getting the same. Okay. Now let us move to the another join, that is right join. So if you have understood the left join, then it is very easy to understand the right join. The right join also output the similar result, that is the common of both the table, the ID and the department ID, the value which was common, that is 1 and 2. If you remember, in student table, this 1 and 2 was there in department ID, and in department table, we have 1 and 2 as well. So these two are matching records from both the tables. So this will become a matching record, a common intersection part, and this major section of this circle, correct, where table B is written. This major section will represent the non-matching record which are present in right table. So let us understand this with example. So let me first remove this outer and let me write right join table B. Okay. So what I'm saying, the common record will come. Of course, the common record will come in left join as well as the right join. But the only difference in right join is it will output the non-matching record of right table because the selected ID of this department table, these ID are not presenting student table, that's left table in our query. This is the left and this is the right. Left and right are with respect to this keyword. And these things we have already discussed in a great detail in my previous video, so you can refer that. Okay, so with respect to this keyword, which table is left will behave as a left table. The table which is present in right will behave as right table. Okay, so these three keys are like present in right table, but not present in left table, which is student table. So it will output the same. That is the common plus non-common of right table. That means total we will get 2 plus 3, 5 records. Let me run this one. See, common plus non-common record of right table. Okay, so this is the same thing. The common part, the intersection, what we are observing in this Venn diagram, this corresponds to value 1 and 2, and this major section in the of right circle, this corresponds to these three values, 3, 4, and 5, because these are present in right table only, not in the left table. That's why we got these values. And corresponding to these three values, we will get null in left column table. Okay. Now, in place of right join, if I write here right outer join, then what will happen? Will it change the result output? No. This we have already discussed. It will not change. See, we are getting exactly the same records. Okay. That means these two query will output the same result. Let's move to the next join. This is the full outer join. Now, if you combine left join and the right join, if you have understood left join means common plus remaining, that is non-matching of left table. Right join means common, that is matching, plus non-matching of right table. And full outer join means, see, the middle part is common, that is value corresponding to 1 and 2, because the value 1 and 2 was present in both the table, student and department. So this middle intersection part of these two tables will correspond to the value 1 and 2. Now in table A, this major section of this left circle, this major section, don't consider this intersection part, this major section, what we are seeing here, okay, this boundary, this one, of this table A. So which value correspond to this major section? So we have already discussed this one because this department ID 6 is not present in department table. Okay. So this major section of the left circle will correspond to this row. Similarly, this major section of this right table, don't consider this intersection part. This major section of the right table where table B is written, this will correspond to the records which are present only in right table. That is, if you exclude the matching record, then the remaining records from the right table will correspond to this table. And that we have seen in the right join. So these two are matching record and these three are non-matching record, right? So this major section, what we are observing in Venn diagram, this major section of the right circle will correspond to these three values only. And corresponding to these three values, the record in the left table will be null. And similarly, corresponding to this value, the record in the right table will be null. Okay. So let me write here full outer join. Remaining all condition and the syntax will be same. Let me run this one. So if you observe, we are getting this intersection part. And from Venn diagram, this is the intersection part. And the inner join also will output this same result, this intersection part. Then we got this third row from the left table because this department ID 6 was not present in department table, that is right table. So we got this third value and this row correspond to which part of the Venn diagram? You need to understand it very carefully. See, this is the major part if the left table. This represent the non-matching record because the matching record is the intersection, right? These two are like matching. So the remaining part of this left table or left circle, what we are seeing here, will correspond to the non-matching of left table. So this is the non-matching record, and non-matching means this department ID value is not matching with the ID value of this table. That is department table. Okay. Similarly, these three records will correspond to the major section of the right circle. See here, if you remove this intersection from this right circle, then the section which is remaining, this will represent these three rows of department. And corresponding to this, we are getting null in left table. Okay. So now let us move to the another join, left excluding join. So in left join, if you exclude or if you remove this intersection part, then that will become left excluding join. This is not exactly a type of join. Basically, it is like advanced scenario of left join only, where we are removing this intersection part. So if you remember in left join, what we observed, we were getting this intersection part plus non-intersection or non-matching of left table. So in left excluding join, we will get everything what we are getting in left join, but the only condition is we need to remove this intersection part at the end. That means we need to filter this part. And for that only, if you see the query, the only change is we have written some kind of where condition. So let us check what is this where condition and how it is behaving and how this is like justifying this Venn diagram. Okay. So the syntax would be same. Either you can write left outer join or left join. But the only change is, okay, so first let me run this query. Okay. So here we are getting this intersection plus non-matching record, that is non-intersecting record of left table. Correct. And according to this Venn diagram, we should only get this third row as an output because this is the non-matching record, right? This is the non-intersecting record. But here, first two rows are like matching record. That means this ID 1 and 2 are present in both the table. Okay. So if we are anyhow able to remove these two rows, then it is done. Correct. So how we can remove these two rows? So to filter out this, we need to write a where condition. Where, see, where there is a non-matching record available corresponding to that, this is the right table, right? Or table B according to our alias name. So the table B dot ID column, the value will be null here. Okay. So indirectly, I want to say the joining condition key, this one will be null. So if you write this as a filter condition, then we will get this rows, of course, because table B dot ID is null. So only this row satisfies this condition. So this is the table B, and table B dot ID is null means this cell. Okay. So let us run this query. See, we got only this row, and this was the non-matching record, non-intersecting row of left table, and exactly what we are getting here from Venn diagram also. Okay, so this is the non-intersecting or non-matching record from the left table, that is table A. And again, the query would be same for if you write outer or if you write without outer. Okay, so let us run this query by removing outer. Okay, so this would also result same value. Okay, similarly, we can apply the same rule for right excluding join. What we performed in the right join, just applying the filter at the end, we can achieve this result. And this will also justify what we are observing in this Venn diagram. Okay. Okay, then that's it for today's video. If you learned something new, then please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Okay, then let's meet in our another video with a new and a very interesting concept. Till then, take care and goodbye.